So Baylor's biggest issues in this 0-2 start to the Big 12 have been transition defense. Now, granted, TCU is a pretty incredible fast break team. They're going to put pressure on anybody.
Yeah.
But transition defense and then, very erratic 3-point shooting. So how do they solve these issues?
Well, transition defense is something they can. I just think they've just been a little lax in playing defense. They're not getting back like they're supposed to. Seems like they have communication issues. A lot of times guys just aren't guarding the right guys. Their help defense has just been terrible. A guy drives past one guy, there's nobody back there to help. So Scott called Baylor's transition defense last night atrocious. I've never heard him use that term before.
Wow.
But and 3-point shooting, I think they've obviously got great shooting guards, and but I think they rely a little too much on it. Like last night, first half, they were 9 of 13 from 3, looked really good, had a 10-point lead. Second half, they were 2 of 11. So, that 3-point shooting comes and goes. I think they need to try to work the ball inside a little more, try to, maybe set up some screens or something to get some, some closer shots. And they've got good passers. I mean, Flagler's a really good passer. Keontae George has incredible court awareness. He's a good passer. So they got guys. I think they just probably, maybe need to move the ball around a little bit better.
Yeah. The transition defense thing, I think you hit on it. Defense is not that there's not technique to it. Obviously, there is technique to defense and knowing, having knowledge and communicating, all of those things. But defense is a lot about effort. And honestly, to me, you should never get beat in transition after a make.
Exactly.
After a make, you should never get beat. You have time. I mean, it takes them 2 to 3 seconds to get the ball in bounds. So you should be, getting back. And, and there were times Baylor even got beat on a make. I mean, but again, I was really, really impressed with TCU's relentlessness of just how fast they get it up the court, including on makes. As far as that 3-point deal, I'm not sure they just have a lights out, really consistent shooter. I mean, maybe, I don't know, but I think you hit on it. It's such a big part of the game today. And I think that everyone falls in love with it a little too much sometimes when sometimes you just, especially if your shot's not going, you need to put it on the floor, take it to the rim. I will say, to Baylor's credit, last night felt like a game they should have won.
Right.
They pretty much had it won most of the game, and then TCU really just stole it in the end with a great shot from the corner and a freaking excellent block shot. I mean, but I thought Baylor's execution in getting that shot off was really good. First, you have to make a strong pass to get it into the front court to call that timeout. They did that. And then, when they're setting up for the final play, they've got 4 seconds left. I'm like, why do they have Keontae George throwing the inbounds pass? That's the guy you want taking the shot. Well, to their credit, they obviously went right back to George, and he came around whoever he threw the ball into. I can't remember, but he came around him and has a full head of steam going to the basket. I mean, what more could you want, really? You just have to give TCU credit for making a great defensive play. I mean,
yeah, Cork made a great block on that, and Baylor got it to the hot guy, the guy they wanted. You're right, though. He made a great defensive play, and that finished off the win.
Yeah, and I'm sure in hindsight, first of all, 4 seconds is not a lot of time, and you have to, the guy with the ball is always thinking about that too. But in hindsight, I bet Keontae would have loved to go like maybe try a reverse there. That would have been a little harder to block, but also probably a tougher shot. So anyway, it's a long season, but obviously Baylor has dug itself a hole.